Libra singles, this is David. Thanks for joining me. It's Tarotmylove. Going to do your singles read for mid-June. And we're doing it on June 10th, the day of the eclipse. So far, having an impact. So, kind of be a big one. Want to point out too, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus energies we'll look at here at Libra. And also, on Thursdays, we do Libra and Scorpio. Do the heart spread. That's for when you have someone on your mind. The couples reading. And this one is your singles reading, super singles, totally singles. Kind of come up with this one because the heart spread's more geared towards couples. So wanted to do something for singles and something that's helpful. So I think this is a good one for dating sites too. If you want to throw yourself out there, because this is going to show you who your soulmate is, not the next problem, the next ex, but the next one that's right for you, and you'll be right for them. When we're best to do your soul work with. So we'll look at the reading a little differently, and try to just get a read from it on who your person is, what they're like as a person, how they think, maybe some of their stories, what's been like for them. Because we know they're the right one for you. That's give me, okay? That's how this is rolling. We're asking Spirit through the cards to reveal that to us today. For our Libra friends, mid-June, you coming in with the chariot. Them coming in with the chariot right out of the chute emotionally, and over the Six of Wands. So, boy, you're right off the bat getting a person. This is in the emotional position. I see the moon here. It's got Cancer moon, screaming Cancer moon. I have a Cancer moon. But this is somebody that feels really connected spiritually. Someone who's probably since they were a child always felt connected to their higher self. They're thinking about higher purposes as soon as they were of age of reason, probably. You could say probably has a spiritual nature. Very nice childhood. They hear with the Six of Wands underneath. They probably had parents that really took care of them. They may actually have a little bit of a competitive spirit to them, but they're spiritual. But right here, I'm just looking at the emotional aspect right now. We'll look at the intellectual, sexual, love, and core values and lifestyle aspects too. If I need to clarify, I'm going to use the Klimt deck. Usually I don't with this. We'll see. So let's look at their intellectual position, not from the bottom, because that goes along with it. This is the Four of Wands. And over the King of Swords. The Chariot over the Six of Swords, Six of Wands. The Four of Wands over the King of Swords. This is an intellectual position. This is the consciousness. This is the unconsciousness. This is the deep unconscious self. They may have a competitive nature that's they may actually be someone, if they may still be into sports. I don't actually see the age here. I know they're adult, but maybe they were into sports. They may have an athletic build. I don't see someone that's like avidly sports watching. More would be an intellectual, but I see someone who likes to be physical, and enjoys their body, and probably has a good body, and enjoys the feeling of like competing and stuff. So, they might have some interest too in sports, because they probably played sports. But could be nowadays too. Could be extreme sports. It could be a skateboarder we're talking about. You never know, right? But it's a focus on the energy. They'll tell you about whatever. Someone may have broken a few bones too. Tell you their stories, because if you do this kind of thing. But also, I gotta say, I'm getting could be light worker, star child, this kind of thing. Light child, star child, but someone that from the time they were little, they may still recall, but if you ask their parents, they probably talked about the people around them. They probably were connected with the other side. Um, I'm not getting a feel for how the parents might have reacted to that, but not badly because they're not traumatized. So somewhere the parents might have been positive because I get that they know how to handle this, you know. In other words, they know how to have boundaries. They might have some eighth house energy going on. Maybe their moon's in the eighth house. I see the eighth house in their natal chart as being where I see the most in terms of psychic energy. It's where energy comes in and out from our chart. Think of it like a cell. That's where we exchange the energy flow. That's where I see psychics. I've worked with a lot of them, a lot of their charts, guys. I'm not exactly saying they're psychic yet, but there's someone that would be open to all that, probably, yeah. Um, and with the Four of Wands and the King of Swords, it kind of shows how stable, like, their childhood was, even in the intellect. They may have had guidance, good guidance from someone, and they might be following in their mom or dad's footsteps, most likely the dad. Could be a Capricorn Rising. Think about that one. They often follow in the parents' footsteps, often the dad. They're the ones that go into the family business. So could be something like that involved here, like a family business or something. Um, but intellectually, they're pretty smart. I kind of get the sense, I don't know why, this is not intuitive, not exactly from the cards, um, but they have a very good mind, detached from an amazing intuition and everything, maybe full on psychic ability. They have a very capable mind. And you know, you look at the Six of Swords as well here next to it emotionally. Um, they're not a new age soft pussy. You know, they're assertive, they're fun, they're outgoing, they might be a little competitive, this kind of thing, a little edgy. You know, they're not your wallflower or like, you know, peace and love. They probably eat meat. You know, they laugh a lot. I think they just don't take things too seriously. It's like I see them, maybe they're the ones that wrote that meme about how what are we so worried about? We're just like hunks of meat riding a stone through space at 16,000 miles an hour or something. You know, that kind of energy. You know, kind of an indomitable spirit to them too. Um, and they're definitely someone doesn't mind speaking up. You know, now this is your person, say they're perfect, but I don't see them as being obnoxious or anything like that. But you watch, if ever push comes to shove, they had no man or woman, they got absolutely no problem asserting themselves and whatever, pretty much to whatever degree is necessary to the situation. You know, I think they'd handle it in a very balanced way. In general, with the Four of Wands, is someone intellectually is just kind of balanced. You know, equal amount of listening, equal amount of talking. You know, I think where they're going to be inclined to speak up the most is in defense of something, someone, or even like a belief or something. You really step hard on belief. I mean, this kind of person, you know, you were grossly inappropriate or racist or sexist. You know, they're not going to just sit there and let it go. They're going to be like, "What the fuck?" Or why would you think you could talk in front of me at a table about something like that? That's low vibration. I absolutely disgust me and blah blah blah. Everybody else would be like, well, just kind of avoiding it, but not this person. Now, sexually, the magician, make of that what you will. It ain't bad. Could be Gemini. Four cups. It's not bad either. It's not how it works. I like to see that there even. The Hanged Man. This is in their core values and lifestyle. This is love slash um, sex energy over there. Death under the Hanged Man on their core values and lifestyle. Let's shift over here now. Um, that's why I call this now Meet the Soulmate, but I'm looking at the four pillars of a relationship here. Emotional, intellectual, sexual, and lifestyle. So really didn't say much. I said a Cancer moon. Um, let's see. We could be dealing with a Leo personality, a Sun person, you know. But this has Gemini Venus written all over it, and Cancer Mars, which could happen. So I think that's what we're looking at in terms of the astrology here. Cancer Moon, and we're looking at a Leo Sun person, and we're looking at the Venus in Gemini and the or Cancer in Mars. Um, so one thing I think you're going to find, they're really outgoing, and they're going to want to go out a lot, and um, not the kind of person who wants to sit home every night and watch Netflix. Let's put it that way, in terms of their love energy. And they're really going to be about communication. So, like it or not, hopefully you like it. I mean, this is the person's going to text you 100 times a day, um, but not in a bad way. I mean, they're just, that's how they love and how they touch bases. So, even if they're busy, they might just throw you a little heart. It could be really busy, and maybe that's a lot for them. But it shows that they're thinking of you. But to be clear, you're gonna have to do that back to a little more, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you do that anyway. um, Libra energy, very much relationship oriented. So, um, and really, I mean, Gemini goes well at Libra, no doubt there. Um, and then with the Cancer Mars, um, it's at fall there. Um, but I like a Cancer Mars. There's someone that's very emotional, and it really is nice going with the Venus and Gemini, because they can be a little cold, a little detached in the way they love, a little flighty too, in their commitments and stuff. But Cancer Mars brings into that some strong emotional energy, and when you consider that they also have a Cancer Moon, very likely. Now we're looking at a different animal. And then also, a Leo, fixed energy. I mean, you know, you have a nice mixture here. This is your person, it's not an issue, but I'm looking at how they settle down. Now, honestly, they might have a good bit of experience sexually. Again, not your problem, they're your person. Um, but they're pretty wide open, I think, sexually, and far more emotional, maybe in the bedroom than they are elsewhere. They have the chariots in the emotion, and I got a Cancer moon, um, but with this King of Swords down here too, and being a Leo, the pride and just the sun, the strength energy, it kind of might outshine that moon. But then when they get intimate and they feel safe and the bedroom door closes, that's when that Cancer energy opens up. So, I mean, don't think that because they're the most emotional is when you have sex, that's all about sex. With a Cancer Mars and a Cancer Moon, then it's about sex, because that's what gives them emotional security and makes them feel connected with you. And I don't think I think they have a nice balance of it. It's not like they have a Venus and Scorpio, because the Gemini Venus is going to give them some detachment, so they're not going to be too needy, too demanding, that kind of thing. I think it'll be just sweet, really. Um, Now, the Hanged Man and Death in terms of lifestyle and core values. I think this person, um, they value like the truth. They want to look under the rug. That's what I mean. Um, and that may have something to do with what they do for a living. So this is eighth house stuff. This is Scorpio, Pluto, the Death card. I mean, it could be simple. They some kind of mortician work or something going on. But with the Hanged Man, this is someone, they do something very different, I think. It's like whenever they say what it is they do, I think pretty much everyone that hears it has to go through a process of kind of like going, what? Or, oh, really? Because it's, I'm not saying it's this, but something out there that you normally wouldn't think of. Like I saw where these people have actually a very lucrative business where they clean up murder sites, and they specialize in this. You have to have like a license. You have to be hired by the county or city morgue or something, or state, to do this. And so definitely you can imagine, like, what do you do for a living? Well, I clean up blood splattered brains off of walls around our fine neighborhood. And like, be like, okay, what? I think kind of, it creates visual, you know, if you have any imagination. But something like this, you know, honestly, this could be a private eye, someone that does that kind of work. This could be someone that does work in genealogy, you know, undercovers things. Could even be this could even be an astrologer, honestly, come to think of it. Someone that spends time looking at things from a very different perspective from the usual way of looking at things, and uncovers the shadow side. Could be a psychologist too, someone who does therapy, that kind of thing, or works with addicts, or a social worker that works a lot with the people that are in these transitional phases, you know, like if you're a social worker, work for the county, you know, you're going to be basically going to have PTSD, because it's like you're just going to see so much shit, right? Deal with so much stuff, and literally deal with death. And you might literally deal with it somehow. So Libra, I think it gives you an idea of what your person might be like here. So let me know what you think. And don't feel free to join a dating site. I think this kind of thing these days, you could maybe get an idea of this. Is it kind of your person or not? Enough to where you maybe then want to go meet them. You know, just talking to them on a dating site. If you like it, a thumbs up, appreciate it. Please subscribe. It helps a lot. Thank you, guys.